Since October, there has been a national shortage of a drug used to treat pediatric cancer. The drug is called vincristine, and it's used for chemotherapy. It was discontinued, leaving one company as the sole provider. The lack of alternatives and dwindling supply have left many worried, including an Iowa family whose young daughter needs the drug for another 6 months. Reporter John Kipper spoke with her mother today, who's now working with Congress to make sure her child and every other kid fighting cancer has access to this drug.
The shortage of a vital chemotherapy drug has become a nationwide issue, and it's also a problem here in Shenandoah, Iowa, as the mother of a 2-year-old girl is now fighting to make sure her daughter can finish treatment.
There you go, hamburger with bacon. There you go, baby.
After months of doctor visits, Lindsay Hurd was finally told what was wrong with her little girl, Liana, and not a moment too soon.
Everything was kind of shutting down in her body. Everything was bad, and they told us if we would have stayed one more day at home, she probably wouldn't have made it through the night.
Liana had leukemia and needed to begin treatment immediately.
I just remember it felt like the world stopped. My son said I made this cry. He could hear me all the way out in the waiting room.
The treatment largely consisted of monthly chemo sessions using the drug vincristine. It wasn't easy for little Liana. She had blood clots, needed blood transfusions. She stopped walking and lost her hair. But the treatment saved her life.
Are you gonna smile or anything?
The soon-to-be 3-year-old is now in remission.
Though through it all, she still smiles and she still is happy, and she's a very big inspiration to me.
Until next May, she still needs monthly treatment. But now a national shortage of vincristine is leaving Lindsay and parents around the country wondering if their kids can finish chemo.
And if she'd stop it, it would just come right back. Why would companies want to take away a drug that we know is helping our kids? Like, now you got to stress, like, what are we going to do?
Well, Lindsay did do something. She reached out to a rep in Congress. That made Congresswoman Sydney Axney to write a bipartisan letter to Health and Human Services to force attention on the issue and to get the 2 pharmaceutical companies to get the drug back on the market.
We've got to make sure that our kids are covered during this downturn in production, so that no child suffers or literally possibly loses their life because of really business decisions that are apparently in some of these companies' eyes more important than our children's livelihoods.
Lindsay isn't just worried about Liana. She's now maybe even more concerned about all the kids across the U.S. who need the drug to survive.
I don't want my daughter to deal with not having it, but what about these other kids as well? You know, the ones that are almost done with treatment or starting or in the middle. It's like all of these kids need it. It's not just a personal issue or state issue, it's a nation issue.
In Shenandoah, John Kipper, 3 News Now.
Congresswoman Axney, a Democrat, believes a long-term solution to the issue would be for Congress to pass a bill that would lower the cost of prescription drugs and force drug companies to continue production of life-saving drugs.